Hey, what's up, you guys? Today I'm going to be asking him some questions about his basic training experience while he eats a cookie. Okay, so today I'm going to be asking him questions about his basic training experience at Fort Jackson. So here we go. Are you ready? Eat your cookie. Are you happy? All right. All right. Question 1. What was reception like? Talk so they can hear you.
Well, no, it's kind of nerve-wracking just trying to get used to everything, because you went from kind of the emotional plane ride. Oh, you're eating a cookie. But you went from an emotional plane ride. You got to the airport and you're met by a drill sergeant, which was your first interaction with them, which was really awkward because you didn't know what to do. And then we just sat on the floor of the airport for 2 hours. We were allowed to use our phones. You got bathroom breaks every once in a while. So that's kind of the initial reaction to you. And then I don't think we slept for the first, or from the time that we woke up in the morning to get ready to leave home. I think it was right around 38, 40 hours before we got to go to bed. So there's a lot of getting told or pushed around to go here, go there, get everything done. We got smoked getting off the bus at reception because we had a girl that I don't know. I think her mom packed everything. She had a package of sheets. She had everything. So a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff. Pay attention to the list and don't pack in excess because you don't need it and you're not gonna see it.
What you took, hotel soaps and
just take
the clothes you were wearing.
Take the little travel stuff. It told us to pack 7 pairs of underwear and you don't get to see those. So, and it said to bring white underwear. We spent forever looking around to find white underwear that was boxer briefs, and they were just in a closet for the next 2.5 months. So don't waste the money.
Just buy them at reception. Is the reception story?
Well, it depends on the battalion you're in too, because I guess not battalion, the company at your battalion. Because we had some people you can buy at the troop store. They had boxers or boxer briefs, but we weren't allowed to have them. We had to wear the tidy whities all the time because they were army issued. The others weren't.
So it also may vary from locations as well too. So all right, next question. What was the first day at basic training like? So after reception.
The shark attack and stuff?
Go for it.
I don't know. It wasn't near as bad. Because you kind of went, how long were we at reception? 3 days or 4 days?
4 days, maybe? I don't know. I wasn't there.
I don't remember. It's all blurry.
I remember you calling me the night before.
Yeah, I called you the night before. Well, we got there Monday and we got to actual basic on Friday.
Yeah.
So
you called me right when you got there and gave me your information.
Well,
then I couldn't understand.
I wasn't right when we got there, so
I couldn't understand you, so you texted it to me.
So got off the bus. You had the shark attack, which that wasn't near as bad as all the videos on YouTube show. You still have 5 or 6 drill sergeants that are just yelling at you the whole time. But as long as you have your stuff and just go with the flow, they're not gonna single you out. It's the people who drop their bag or. So don't be that person.
Moral of the story: don't drop your shit.
And it's different too, because you sent me pictures of the company I was in, and when we did it, we had to go. What was it? We went off the bus. I think we went to. I think we went to the CQ there, or not CQ. What's it called? I don't know. It's like our drill lines. And so we went from there, and then we just had, I think like we left all of our bags there. Well, then we had to go over, and they're like, oh, you got like 5 minutes to go find all your bags. Well, they're just on this giant truck, and everybody was just chucking them off. So then you're trying to sort them by color, because when you get there, you're either red, white, blue, or yellow. When you're yellow, so you're digging through that trying to find it. And like we had one kid got smashed in the face with a bag coming off because they weren't paying attention. But I mean, it's pretty hectic. Like just everything's like going super fast, and then they're going through looking at you, and like when you're standing there in the lines too, they'll try to single you out. But I mean, just stare at the person in front of you, just back of their head, and just like stare through them.
Or in your case, the two people in front of you, because the girl in front of you was short as crap.
So just look over top of them. And they had a couple that was like probably 4'8". They were really short.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was super hectic, but I mean, it wasn't terrible. I mean, it's all going to be based on how you make it too. So
again, can vary from location to location, maybe even within.
Oh yeah, it's gonna depend on
your
company, brigade, all that.
All right. What was your favorite thing about basic?
Obstacle courses are pretty fun. Range days are pretty cool as long as you're the one shooting. If you're not shooting, it's a long day. You're just sitting there. Like we had at the range one day, we had where we were all sitting there for we probably got there like 8 o'clock in the morning, and so we were sitting there from like 8 to, I think we had to like leave by 5 o'clock, 1700. I mean, so it was just a long day sitting there. The whole morning we were sitting there taking apart our weapons, and so everybody, because you can only do that so many times before you're just bored out of your mind, just doing the same thing over and over. But so then our first sergeant, he got like really mad at us because we stopped doing it, and so he made us all, because this whole time you're there too, like you got your gas mask on the side of your hips, you got, I don't remember if we might have had flicks on. I don't think we had our bulletproof vest on, but had our helmets on the whole time. And so he got mad at us, seeing we weren't doing what we were supposed to be doing, and he told us that we were like, gas, you got 9 seconds to get it all on. Whoever didn't get it on, you were dead. And they had to like pile everybody's bodies in one area. And there was 2 platoons, so we had like probably 80, 90 people. And we maybe had like 15 actually got it on, because like we had to take our helmets off. Like nobody was expecting it. And I was the one that ended up dying. I ended up like falling against a tree because there wasn't anywhere to go. So I just had people laying down all around me. And so I was like stuck in this little bitty bubble. And like one of the people came up to me, they're like, "Are you dead?" I was like, "Yeah, just take me over there." Make sure you hold on to your weapon, because you don't want to be more than arm lengths away from it, because that's bad. Like they'll actually take them, like hide them from you and stuff, and if you don't find them, like they can actually shut the fort down if they're missing a weapon. So
happened.
We almost had that happen one time. That was terrible, but somebody miscounted, so we actually had them all.
Another word of advice: learn to count.
Yeah. Well, that was Well, see, the problem with that though is like if you have people that are a sick call or something, like you can get stuck carrying a second one, and so you need to make sure it's visible. So bring it in front of you. Don't leave it on your back, because that's the most comfortable position to have it in.
What was your least favorite thing about basic training?
Well, like when I was there, when we first got there, it was just wet and cold all the time. That was terrible. because we'd go out PT in the morning. Like our platoon's area was on the bottom of a hill, so we always had like the slushy mud.
It was February.
Yeah, February, March. It was cold. A lot of times, like we'd have on our winter PTs, which all that is a windbreaker, so it was freezing.
Yeah.
So if they were nice, they'd let you have a long sleeve shirt underneath, which that was like the only warmth you kind of had, because you would have like regular t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt, and then your windbreaker. But I mean, probably that, and like sometimes it was just like the people too. I mean, that was like a good and bad part was the people.
Your number one bad part was the people. What was your worst memory from basic?
Probably like when we were at the obstacle course, we had a girl that was afraid to like slide down the fireman pole because it was kind of far out. Like you had to actually reach out to grab it.
Like most fireman poles?
Well, this one was like this big around too. And we stood there for probably an hour waiting on her to go down. And it was bad. Like,
One of those like, oops, she
that's
fell.
That's what one of them finally came up and told her. They're like, if you don't do this, you're not going to graduate. And if you don't do it, I'm just going to push you down it. So she finally was like, okay, and went. But
Oh my god.
that was forever. And like, we didn't get to do a lot of the cool stuff because of it. Like, it was the stupidest one too. Was you crawled through a dark box and then jumped down a pole. And we were there forever.
Should have made her go last.
Well, nobody knew she was gonna freeze up like that.
Like, get away.
Because we did the repelling wall before that, which I guess I wasn't up there when she was, but I guess she kind of like struggled with that too. Obviously, it was a lot higher than the 6 foot
Find a
pole.
playground and practice going down fireman poles.
If you're afraid of heights.
If your favorite heights. What was your best memory of basic? What is going on?
I don't know. Probably just like hanging out with some of the guys that I met there. I mean, you get to do a lot of cool stuff together, and we had, I think that was actually on the forge. Me and Rodriguez were together, and so we were supposed to be doing 100% watch. And so you're just laying out with your weapons pointing outward, like pulling security. And so this was the first morning that we were there. So we were up from probably 10 o'clock on Sunday night to, this was probably like 8 or 9 Monday morning. And so we were all like super tired, and so we were all supposed to be doing accountability. We were all like joking around, talking about sleeping. And like I had just put my helmet down in the dirt, and I hear footsteps coming up behind me, and I like look up, and the drill sergeant's like right there. He's like, "Yeah, I caught you guys sleeping." It's like, "Well, I'm not really sleeping, but okay." And I mean, it's just like little funny stories like that that you can kind of think back on. And it's kind of funny too, because like you kind of forget like all that stuff happened, and then you'll like start talking about something to somebody. You're like, "Oh yeah, like what you doing? What did you say the other night?"
You saw Forever.
Yeah, you were talking about Forever. We had a kid at reception that he had a tattoo of Forever in a heart, and he got made fun of so bad for that. Like it was bad because like they even like called him out when all the other drill sergeants got there, and they're like, "Hey, come up here and show them your sweet tattoo you got."
It's just a life
Life
lesson. Don't get a tattoo you don't want other people to
It was a
see.
poor life choice.
Especially a drill sergeant.
So yeah, think about things.
What was your favorite thing to eat?
Breakfast. Like breakfast was always good. All the other meals sucked. I had spaghetti like every day. It was bad
I
spaghetti
actually
too.
literally just got him to eat spaghetti. It was only because his parents came over. So
Yeah, it was seasoned. That stuff wasn't. Usually the seasoning salts on the table are delicious. They make everything taste better. The salt's usually, well, if you're where I was, Fort Jackson, the defect's always humid, so the salt won't dump out of the salt shaker. But there's like a seasoning, or well, like not seasoning salt. It's like a bunch of spices mixed together. Put that on everything. That's like the biggest tip you can get to make your food taste good.
Favorite breakfast food?
Breakfast food. I think it was like rare because like we called it. It was when we got actual French toast. Like we called that the unicorn breakfast because it like rarely ever showed up. And when it did, it was magical. That was what I think me and Curry came up with it.
Unicorn breakfast.
It was delicious.
So everyone passed that along. Unicorn breakfast.
Had that. I mean, I think every once in a while, because the eggs you get there, unless you do like the hard-boiled eggs, which I'm not a big fan of, all the eggs are like powdered eggs, so they're not great. But they have pecani sauce, so smother that on them. They taste better. And yeah, that's usually like the best too. They have like the green, yellow, red chart, but it's not really gonna matter unless you're already kind of bigger, because you burn everything so fast anyway. So you'll be surprised like how much you can eat in 15 minutes. Like, it's fast.
What was your favorite and least favorite MRE?
My least favorite was the freaking taco. Like, it was good, but you didn't hardly get any food with that. Like, and I got it every freaking time they passed them out. Like, I don't know how. So I would try to pawn them off on people. And like I would just tell people, it's like, oh, I got this one yesterday. It's like, which I really probably did. I mean, I didn't eat it, but I don't know. A lot of people like the shredded white chicken just because you get, it was shredded chicken with buffalo sauce, and that's because you get 5 sugary things with it. Yeah, it made me sick.
Watch the sugar intake, guys. Yeah. What was the worst time you all ever got smoked?
I mean, like, I don't know, as a company or just like as a platoon?
Either.
Because like as a company, it was probably like, I want to say probably by our first sergeant. He didn't like us at all. Like he straight up told us he doesn't like us. And like I think he always, because like if you're going, you'll figure out pretty quickly like who everybody is, and like if there's a sergeant, drill sergeant, I mean, unless somebody outranks somebody as a sergeant, you don't call at ease. And like we would get that all the time, because so like in front of us we had a second platoon. They were right in front of the door, so that whole platoon was idiots. They would just call it ease whenever anybody walked out. And we had a drill sergeant in the first platoon that he liked hiding behind a pillar so they didn't know he was there, and like we would get smoked for that all the time. And like that was as a whole company we got smoked. Platoon wise, it's pretty dependent on your drill sergeants. Like we kind of lucked out, like we didn't get smoked all that much at all. First platoon, they got smoked every day they came down, but that was the same drill sergeant that liked to hide. I mean, he just liked making everybody's life suck.
From my stories, I learned that drill sergeants are really funny.
They are. I mean, you gotta take it as it is. I mean, if you're gonna be stuck with a bunch of kids for 2.5 years, like you gotta have, for 3 years, you gotta have fun with it, because that's the only way to enjoy your job. So,
did you ever get smoked?
No, I didn't even know who I was for like 7 weeks. So like, if you want to just hide out, I mean, I don't tell her don't. Unless you're like huge, like you can blend in pretty easy because everybody's like,
you get yelled at for holding your cups wrong.
oh yeah, I didn't get smoked for it though. They just told me to hold my cups the right way. So like, the way we had to do them, they want you to hold them like you're holding grenades. So you're gonna have them in with your knuckles. I was carrying mine with my thumbs, and then, so I got called out on that. But that was the same drill sergeant that didn't know I was in the 4th platoon until like week 8. She just, she had like eagle eyes. She could see your name from across the room.
What motivated you?
Letters are huge. Trying to get a phone call that you don't necessarily get.
They got theirs taken away.
We got our red face taken away. I think we got white face.
You got like the week after red phase. You got out of red phase into white phase.
White phase was short, though. Or, well, it went a lot faster because that's when you start doing all the cool stuff. Red phase takes forever.
What was the funniest thing that happened?
I know like a lot of the guys that all the top doing stuff, and I mean it was funny like when it was happening, but like it happened a lot, so it kind of lost its humor. But like, so everybody, you'd go to the troop store, and that's where all the guys get their haircuts, and it's like a mini PX, which they had a whole wall of candy too, but they're like, you can't buy any of that.
Why do they even have it?
I don't know. I think it's for the drill sergeants to buy. But and like they would check your baskets every time too. But anyway, so people would go walking out of the PX. Well, when you're inside, you don't wear your PC. Well, they forget it when they come walking out. So the drill sergeants would make them like put their hands on their head and walk around and say, "What's wrong with me?" Like the whole time. So, I mean, that was pretty funny. It's like really like the funny stuff is gonna be like when the drill sergeants are messing with other people. Like if it's you, it's gonna suck and it's not gonna be funny. But everybody else is gonna be laughing. But like don't let them catch you laughing either, because then you get in trouble for that. Because they're not funny. Like
hold in your laughter.
Well, then we had one time too where you're all standing at the troop store. And like I think our platoon got our haircut first for whatever reason that day. Like usually we were last on everything because we were 4th. But so we were out there, and 2 of the drill sergeants were standing up, and they were sitting there talking about music. Well, one of them started playing music on their phones, and they were sitting there like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like some of the trainees, they started doing it, and they're like, don't listen to our music, this is me and his music. It's like, you're not allowed to listen to it. I mean, so like, I don't know. I had like the ones at basic, like every once in a while, like you'll have like personal time with them where they'll take you up with your platoon drill sergeants, and they'll talk to you and stuff. Like that's, you don't really hear that. Like I didn't know that like they would just take us up to our platoon quarters or whatever, and like they would sit down and talk to us. Like they'd ask us if we have like army questions and stuff. I mean, so they're there to help you. Like they're there to help you be better. But I mean, they're also there to get you squared away and stuff. But I mean, there's times for all that stuff. Like you don't just randomly go up and be like, hey, so like, what are we doing today? It's like they'll tell you. You're gonna find out all that stuff. I mean, so you just gotta like know when it's appropriate to do certain stuff, like laugh and all that.
Just never laugh.
Like we'll be dead inside.
What was your favorite training exercise? Or thing?
I like land nav. Like the group I was with was really bad. Like I think we only actually found like 2 of our 5 points. One of the times like we weren't lost. Well, it didn't help either. I lost the protractor. like when we got to our first one, because it was in this little folder and I wrote something and it fell out and I didn't know. But I like pinpointed the next 2 spots. That was awesome. I had a terrible group.
What was your least favorite?
I want to say like probably. I mean, it was important to do it, but it was probably when we did the buddy team live fire, like practice, because that was just hours of like you go, then you go, then you go, and you're just standing there like watching other people do it. And I mean, it actually, like when you get to the buddy fire range, it's the exact same thing. So it takes forever to do that stuff. So I mean, like everything you do, you're gonna be waiting around forever. So I mean, you just gotta take it for what it is. Get in line with your buddy, that way you guys can talk. Don't get caught talking.
So talk, but do it discreetly.
Yeah.
What was the forge like?
Our forge sucked because it was cold and wet. It wasn't as bad for me because the night that it rained, I actually put the waterproof cover on my sleeping bag like nobody else did. There was like maybe like 5 of like the 40 people in my platoon that actually put it on for whatever reason. Well, I mean, too, when we got there, it was like 11 o'clock at night and dark. It was hard to see. But I don't know. So like everybody woke up completely drenched. It was probably like 38, 40 degrees outside, so it was freezing. I was just wet on my groin because mine leaked like right where.
Look like you peed yourself.
Yeah. I walked around in wet pants. And then, like, cover your sleeping bags with or not sleeping bags, your rucksacks, because like all my clothes were wet, even though I had them in bags. And yeah, it was just cold and wet.
Cold, depending on when you go and where you go.
Like the rare time. Well, we had people from Leonard Wood, and they said it was terrible. Like, because they were there when you were getting all the snow here.
Yep.
So they were all getting that. We only had like a little bit of snow, but it like melted as soon as it hit the ground. That was only
It's
one
my
day.
kind of snow.
Every other day it just rained.
What was it like on Family Day, waiting to be reunited with family? The run out onto the field.
In the woods?
Oh yeah, in the woods. And then marching, I guess.
It's pretty emotional, like, because you know it's about to be time to see your family. Like, I barely talked to you. I think I talked to my mom and dad like 5 whole minutes through that whole time. And so, like, I could feel myself getting choked up just like walking up through the field. The trees, I could tell it was coming. And like, kind of hoping you were like in the section that I knew like we were gonna be in front of. And then like walking forward, I could see my dad's veteran hat, so I like watched you.
His dad was crying. He was trying to hide it, but he was crying. So
like when we started marching, probably about halfway, I could see his hat, so like I knew where you guys were. And then we weren't allowed to move till you found us. And I seen you like walk down.
Ran in circles like 4 times.
And then like you came and hit me from behind.
Well, that's the only way I would have.
This is the right person.
I was only able to find him by his thick, fat neck. How weird was it to be with your family for the first time? On Family Day, like the whole day. Especially me.
Well, it's like, it was awkward because it was weird being free. Like, you didn't have to go everywhere with Battle Buddy.
We were your battle buddies.
You were my Battle Buddy. Like, wasn't allowed to hold your hand, or none of that. So
Can't touch.
you can be like, hi.
In the car, between places we went.
So, I mean, yeah, for For married people, it's obviously a little different. But I mean, it's still good to see your family. I mean, on the field, they're not gonna come up and tell you that you can't hug your family because they know how it is. So, but I don't know. It's kind of awkward, but good.
What was it like after graduation when you got released into the real world?
It's weird to see how close the city was because it was like right there. And had no idea. We were just in the woods the entire time.
It's like being around civilian people.
Yeah. Like, well, with us, I mean, we went out to eat and stuff. And luckily, like, we went to the hotel
Went to the
after
hotel, and then we
changed.
went.
And then we went to go eat, and it was like you've seen people that they were gonna have to take a bus or airplane to their AIT, so they all still had to wear their Class Bs, and I was wearing civilian clothes, which was amazing. Because even like AIT, depending on like when you get there, I mean, unless you get the FA status that they'll let you, or I mean, it might be different based on your MOS and all that. But I mean, we still had to wear the OCPs all the time, so I don't know. It was nice to wear normal clothes
For a day.
for a day.
What do you miss about basic training?
Probably just the friendships for the most part. Like, you get to meet some pretty cool people. You meet people from complete different aspects of life. Like we had, I think just in my platoon, we had like 2 or 3 people from Nigeria. We had, what's up by Egypt? Is that Ethiopia? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
They had one guy from there. He was pretty cool. Like, just hearing like how they grew up compared to what we're used to here. Like, it's cool to meet different people from all over the world.
What do you think you could have done to better prepare for basic?
PT. You're prepared for PT.
Oh my gosh, isn't that what your wife told you to do?
Which even as unprepared as I was still in a better shape than a lot of people there, which was sad.
So, PT, 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 PT.
So I mean, I was 30, and that was like my biggest fear going there.
You was 30.
Well, I mean, I'm still 30, but I mean, like, I'm going there with a bunch of 18-year-olds and stuff. I mean, so that was my biggest fear, was getting like shut out. But I mean, there was older people than me there that were still, like in better shape than I was. And I mean, there was younger people there that was in a lot worse shape than I was. So, and I think like you kind of click with like who's your age there in your platoon. So like the guys I hung out with were, I mean, I was 30. I think Curry was 28 and Rodriguez was 27. So I mean, you kind of hang out with who's your age and like maturity level, I guess.
Unless
So,
you're Taurus.
yeah.
Any advice for someone preparing to go to basic training at Fort Jackson? Or just in general?
Get used to drinking a lot of water. That's like probably one of the biggest things. Because, I mean, you'll have time, like, especially morning PT, they're going to make you drink out of your Camelback. Like, they straight up told us, they're like, if we say drink water, they don't care if you're actually drinking, but you're going to have the nozzle in your mouth. So,
Might as well drink.
might as well drink, because you don't know when you're going to get to drink again either. So, I mean, like, because we would go do, on run days, we would go do, like, prep stuff, or, like, warm-up drills. And then we would come back, get a drink of water, and then depending on how far you're going, I mean, because there's days that you're going to go half mile, you're going to go 5 miles. You don't know what you're doing, so take the water while you can. And get used to drinking it, because it's good for you anyway. You're going to sweat with everything you do there. I mean, don't sweat it too bad. take it serious. I don't know.
Don't be the asshole that makes everybody lose their phone call.
Yeah. Yeah, don't be that guy. Nobody likes that guy. Everybody knows who that guy is too, so.
They're probably writing home about you because I have lots of letters with proof.
Yeah.
That's it.
Everybody knows. So just be the best version of yourself.
Whatever that is. Or even be better than that version.
Be a good best version of yourself.
Good best version. Sounds like Forrest Gump. Be Forrest Gump. There you go.
Run and take your gun apart fast.
Like a friend named Bubba.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. That is all for this video. We may do one on AIT, which will probably not be quite as exciting since it's varies. So if you'd like to see that in the future, comment down below, let us know. Otherwise, give us a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe to see more from me and him. So, bye!
See ya.